Sharona.
Hey.
We have Sharona. She was gonna come on. As you guys know, tonight it is wine down. And baby, I needed some wine, so I got me some. Okay. It's wind down. Our wind down episode where we talk about things that are happening, things that we discussed prior to the month. And Fancy said, "Why don't we have a forum today?" And I was like, "Why not?" So, Sharona clicked on the link extra early, so she's gonna do news with us today, right, Sharona? Can she hear us?
Sharona, can you hear Anya?
I haven't heard Anya say a thing. I can hear you though.
That's the problem.
Okay. Are you on what did I tell you, Anya, that they said? Remember I was like, is it that they had to be on their desktop or phone?
You're on your phone or your computer?
Oh. Are you on your phone or your computer, Sharona? Oh, look, I'm like, Sharona, you on your phone or your computer?
I'm on my phone right now.
Okay.
That's the issue.
That's what it is. Okay. So, the thing is, apparently, it seems like it, from what they're saying, whenever we have a third guest, it's like nobody can ever hear Anya because, well, they have to be on their desktop. So, is it possible for you to join us from your desktop?
Yeah, hold that thought. I could do that.
Okay. So I'm gonna hide you. You can just, whenever you come back into the waiting room, and then I'll bring you back up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, you guys, tonight we are having a special edition of Wind Down with us. As you just heard, if you come on your cell phone, you won't hear me. So, if you plan on coming on tonight, please, please, please come on with on a computer, on a desktop. Else, you won't hear anything I say, and it makes for bad.
And I don't want to have to keep repeating stuff. So I'm bad at it. Right? I don't even like to repeat myself, so I'll be like relaying messages, not to be rude, but
I am putting the link in the thing now. Hey, Dee, I see you, girl. So tonight we're going to start off with the news, as I stated, as we always do every week. What is going on with me? Is it the wine? Please.
I know not. And you've been drinking all of 5 minutes?
I know.
Even 5.
Can y'all see that? It's a peach Moscato. I've never had this one before, and this was $8.99. So this is that cheap wine. I just ran to the corner store to get it just now. They still open, practicing social distancing. Anywho, our first topic is the nurse who quit after being assigned to the COVID-19 floor in New York. So apparently, a nurse went live on Twitter, and she was saying how her boss is the devil, and that she came into work today and she found out that she would, well, not today, the day that it happened. She found out that she was being assigned to the COVID-19 floor, and right then she quit. She said that her boss did not care about her children and her family and her health for making a decision like that. So was she wrong? Was she right? Anya's opinion. As a nurse, isn't there an oath that you take that you're going to take care of people regardless of the situation? And if it was a possibility for you to be assigned to that floor and you knew that's not what you wanted to do, sound like you should have taken a leave of absence. Salute to all nurses, doctors, everyone out there that's working with people who may have this particular, a job working with people with COVID-19. I feel like, first of all, why did you go live and talk about it? What were you trying to accomplish with that? That was my first thought. Secondly, I don't know if someone else will hire you. Just for that. Just from going live and talking bad about your boss and all of that. That's Anya's thoughts. Just having nothing to do with Swagger and Fancy. I feel like she was saying that other people can send their kids away and she can't send her kids away. And I'm like, so a woman with no kids like me, my life is less valuable than yours, since you're feeling like you're so valuable, your life is so valuable that you don't want to go on that floor. Everybody stands at risk whenever dealing with anybody in the hospital. So it angered me a little bit because I was like, this is your job. This is what you signed up for. So, Fancy.
Well, okay. I knew we were talking about this, didn't know you were going to take that approach. And of course, I respect your opinion. The fact that you said that about is your life, if you were a nurse as well and so on, or the single nurses. But for me, and I guess for one, because like I said the other day, I can be like so anti-employment. I kind of be like, F their job as far as, if someone else is going to hire me or not. So that just really wouldn't have been my main focus. And that's just me personally, just because, of things I've experienced working for others. And then, but at the same time, like as a mother, I really understood where she was coming from when she said that about like she couldn't send her kids away. I don't think, especially in a situation like that, and just oftentimes, I think this is just something that I see just in us as a society all together. Like everybody's kind of self-absorbed. Everybody thinks that everybody's thinking about them and their particular situation. And like for someone like me, I really do always try to think about each individual situation. But for most people that I encounter, they're not the same way. So I don't think her boss may have necessarily been thinking, oh, so-and-so, I can't put them up there, or I can't place them on this floor because I know that they won't have anybody to watch their kids, because at the same time, in the midst, you're in the midst of a pandemic. So those type of things may not necessarily cross your mind. However, I did still feel for her yet again, though, because I'm like, I have a child that has basically always been with me, because it's like a one-sided family, so there isn't anybody else that you can just send them to or that'll help take care of them. So I got what she was saying. Like my heart went out to her. And at the same time, at one point I did kind of question why she took to social media with it. But I don't know. Sometimes, I even recently took to social media to vent myself like a month or so ago. And I had said I'd never do that, but I did it kind of for a reason. I guess it was kind of an act of desperation. Like, if I can't get this out, if nobody else can kind of know what I'm going through, then, I'm going to not so much tell my side of the story, but I just kind of need for you all to see who this person is in a sense. And in the end, you kind of come back and regret it still. But in the moment, hey, sometimes better out than in. So I just hope that overall that, she's safe. I do think the fact also that she does, they said that she was possibly a breast cancer survivor. That to me, it does change the scope of things. It's not saying her life is any more worthy than someone else's, but just she is more at risk. But when you said that about the oath, I do understand it as well, but to be honest, it seems like, just from, again, my own personal perspective, most people that take oaths don't really uphold them, so that's kind of my thoughts on things. I just hope that everything, works out for the best for her, that if she did actually quit her job and they don't try to offer her any type of package or try to work with her or whatever, I do think it may have, but even still, it's kind of hard to try to go higher up, to higher management in a time like this and complain. So, and not even complain, but I guess you say express your concerns, because I don't want to say complain, because I do feel like what she said was valid. So those are my thoughts on the matter.
I didn't know that. Well, first of all, before I say anything else, one thing that reason why we did this platform was to show that two different women can have two different backgrounds and still be friends. We can discuss whatever. So Fancy, I always respect Fancy's opinion. She always respects mine. So I just want y'all to know that that's one thing. That's one of the biggest reasons why we did this, because we sometimes agree and sometimes we don't agree, and we both have valid points. It's not that we're wrong. We're just taking a different stance. So with that, I didn't know that she was a breast cancer survivor. So with that, that plays a different part. She should have taken a leave of absence. She should have taken a leave of absence.
I'm just curious though, because even when you said that before, is that even possible for them? You know?
In that situation, I'm thinking it should be available, especially if you have health issues.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you have health, something like that, your doctor can say you can't be around people. If you have asthma or respiratory issues, this is what you can't be around. You know, as you said, I don't believe her boss intentionally was like, oh, I know that she's a breast cancer survivor and I'm gonna put her there. They probably was just making out the schedule. Okay, just a rotation so one person don't have to be on that floor all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so many times people take things and take it personally. I was thinking about this totally off the subject. I was thinking about when people start doing good for themselves and people start saying, oh, you think you better than everybody else. I was not thinking about you when I decided to be the best I can be. Wait a minute. It's always something with my hair, y'all. That was bothering me. It's always something with my hair. I was not thinking about you when I decided to be the best me. I decided to be the best me because I wanted to be the best me. That didn't have nothing to do with you selfish, self-centered person. So with that, I don't think her. Now, if her boss wanted to be a bitch, she could have kept her on there the whole week. This was just one day. Right, FMLA, family medical leave. Bam, that she could have had a doctor write off saying that she cannot work.
I'm sorry. I read that and really thought she was saying F my life. My bad. Okay.
Oh. It's family medical leave. It's family medical leave. But that's the biggest thing. People send, and people are so heightened right now. They're so sensitive that she could have very well thought that this person was trying to be evil when this person wasn't even thinking about that. But if she would have sat and talked to her and say, hey, I'm a breast cancer survivor, I can't really be around stuff like that. It'll impact me. Then, maybe she would have taken it in consideration. But she was like, right then, I quit. And yeah.
Last thing, because when you said that about when you asked why she took it to social media, and it just still makes me think, because when I looked at the story, it looks like she actually in Atlanta. So just
I know how you feel about people in Atlanta. Stop it. We have a great base of Atlanta people. Stop it.
Thank y'all.
Okay. Are y'all getting y'all questions, comments, and things together for our open forum? It's gonna start roughly 4 minutes. Also, y'all have it.
Be on your desktops, computers, please.
Yeah, try to be on your desktop. That way you can hear me. All right. Our second thing, former NBA player Steven Jackson made some comments here recently on social media, and he talked about the bitter Black woman. You want to start first, or you want me to go first?
No, because look, I didn't even finish watching it. I was so disgusted.
I just so happened to come across a video on YouTube. This is how we get things, y'all. Like something come up and Fancy say, "Oh, this sounds interesting. Let's talk about that." Or I'll say, "That sounds interesting. Let's talk about that." So what had happened was, Steven Jackson made some comments about. He started off real good, y'all.
No, he didn't.
I'm talking about in the beginning when he was like, men, well, kind of good, because it was like, y'all settled down with one woman. And I was like, not marriage?
I'm gonna let you go, but I'm just saying that intro, just because he introduced it like, let me tell y'all young men something, I'm about to put y'all on to some game, and then he went off into that garbage. So go ahead on. You can
I found it problematic. I found it problematic what he said because any woman of any race can be bitter and black. I mean, bitter, not black, bitter, a bitter woman. This man has 5 kids by what? Four different women because one woman has 2 kids for him. He was an NBA player, and we know what type of women that they go after. And I'm not saying that those women are all, because I have a girlfriend who went to college with me who's married to a former football player, and she's not that type of person, not from what I know of her. So I can't put them all as gold diggers, people that's trying to get at you, but you knew what you were doing, and you have five kids by at least 4 women, and you say that 3 of them you wish you wouldn't have never met. I feel that he put the black woman down. There were so many people in those comments, y'all. Fancy was like, "I'm gonna stop liking people if I keep watching this video." It wasn't an actual video; it was a vlogger talking about the video, and of course they brought out some stuff. Even one of my faves, Jamel Hill, was like, "This is his experience that he's talking about." However, here's what happened when we discuss black men. If we say black men ain't shit, black men is doing this, black men is that, we're always told not to generalize. And right, as who comes to the black man defense, we are always told, "Oh, let's love them, let's do this, that, and the other." However, nobody, it seemed, came to the black woman's defense and said, "This is not all black women. This is not this." So I found it very problematic because now you're basically telling young men not to be with black women because we're bitter, and we're not bitter. What did you do to those women? That was my first question. What did you do to them to make them feel a certain way? Even the one that was on Basketball Wives, he had to be verbally, emotionally abusive because she was really hurt behind that relationship. And as the commentator, the vlogger stated, women together with these men for 10 years, all these years, and never married. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I'm not trying to be with you, I don't even think 2 years without being married because, yeah, I'm just not going to do that. So I found his comments very problematic for the black community. I found, just as the vlogger was saying, we're always calls to action. Let's not be down our black men. Let's not do this. But when are they going to step up for us? When they're going to step up and say, "No, King, we're not going to do that. Let's not talk bad about them like this," even if that is his experience. Right, Lauren, just wasting your time. Fancy.
I didn't have much to say because I didn't even watch the whole video. I don't even know him to begin with. Like, even when you just said that about, I guess, maybe an ex-wife or something, I didn't know that. I didn't know, but I don't know him. It was very problematic. And it was even more like hurtful when you're looking at the comments and so on, like all the different people that you respect and, or think highly of, and you see them black men in particular, a lot of black celebs, influencers, whatever you want to call them. And they were just in the comments and agreeing. And I feel like to even have liked it, like to me, and this is just a practice of mine, if I see something online that I know I can't say, I agree with that in person, or yeah, that was me that hit the like, or whatever the case may be, I'm not gonna, because I feel like somebody else is gonna see me there and be like, "Oh, so that's the type of stuff she like," And so for me, that's really how I looked at it. Like, oh, so this is what y'all really think about black women. That was just really hurtful. And that intro just was really misleading. I hope nobody gives that to their son to watch. I hope his own sons, if he has any, then that he's not preaching that type of rhetoric or whatever to them. That was just, it was just, I don't know. But it's 7:22. I don't even want to give him that much of our time because we're not promoting his ass on here. I don't even know what he do now in life, But yeah, just. And that's me also as a mother of 3 who has gone. I've delivered 3 kids alone. I have never had anybody go into a delivery room with me. So when you see men say this stupid stuff like that, it's just like, I don't know. Yeah. Oh look, I'm popping. Did I put a whole? I got pages and stuff popping up. I was trying to share a comment. So are we bringing? Well, nobody has joined the chat room. Is anybody going to
Anybody like to come on and talk to Fancy and I? Let me give y'all the link again.
And while you're doing that, I can give out our sponsor for the evening.
Yes,
So, today's or this evening's episode is sponsored by Pleasure Quest LLC. Pleasure Quest is an adult novelty company that takes pride in providing quality, inexpensive products and gifts for couples and singles who seek imaginative outlets within relationships and self-pleasure. Play with confidence. And you all can check out their website at www.pleasurequest with an L with an S there. Pleasure Quest with an S LLC.com. And you all can also follow her on Instagram at Miss Natches. That's MSNATCHES. So thank you all for sponsoring this evening's episode.
Easy. You say ES.
Oh, did I? Okay. Well, I must have been trying to smile too hard because I was looking so mean last week and I just hate that. But
Verona says she thinks she's on. She used the link.
I don't see her. You know, normally they are down here the same way you would be down here, but it's not there.
Mm-hmm.
She's not there.
Well, okay, so while we wait, you guys remember you can come on, you can join us as the open forum. We can talk about whatever you would like to talk about on tonight's episode. What?
Now one of my Facebook friends said send them the link. You gotta be on a computer. Do you have a computer? Because look, we're not dealing with you with no flip phones on here.
So let's talk a little bit about last week we had Jay Burnett on, and he talked about he said some real good stuff. Every time we have Jay on, he said some really good stuff. Did somebody join? Because I seen you looking at.
No, I
hate for people to wait, honey. She will cut me off if somebody's waiting. Anywho, one thing that hit home was you cannot penalize. I'm paraphrasing what he said. You can't penalize a child for something that you haven't told them not to do. That hit home. A lot of people are praying for abusive relationships, domestic violence, also child abuse cases have gone up because we don't spend that much time with our kids. So we just kind of deal with them for a little while and then we send them to bed. Now we have to deal with them all the time. And sometimes our anger gets the best of us, and before we know it, we didn't threw their little butt across the wall, across the door, the room, and it didn't hit a wall and broke something. So let's be mindful of things like that. If you suspect anything like that, just kind of help out. Jay talked about helping out his sisters, going over there and spending some time with them. We talked about the anxieties of being home all the time now, and even with your spouse. He even brought that out. Even with your spouse, that's why I always say it's important to be a friend, to really be a friend. I mean, just because you're here together in the same house don't mean you have to be right under each other. They could be in another room. You could be in, you could be in one space. You don't necessarily have to be right there with them. And something that I'm thinking of is people don't really get to know people. Although you have to, Pastor Ty had said that you don't really start loving someone until after you're married to them anyway, which I kind of agree with. Because you're living with them, you're sharing space, you're sharing things. It's a different type of situation. But I think that so many people are not taking into account, whenever they get married, and for the good and the bad, Fancy.
Oh, look, I'm sorry. I thought you were still saying something about that. As far as what I took away from what Jay said last week. More so, I was glad that he agreed about the, using the time as you please. I think he touched on a good point, like do what works for you, which I'm a big advocate of. Yeah, that's kind of, well, one other thing that I was thinking about too when you mentioned that, and so I think he also noted that though the child abuse cases were going up, like as far as reports, I think he also mentioned that in some instances it may have not been actual abuse, but just like kind of that like neglect, which of course isn't a, neither one is to say one is better than the other, but just one thing that I've really just been noticing more, especially as I've been learning more about like really marginalized communities, I'm starting to see that oftentimes, what might be normal to us may not be, it's not the normal, it's not the ideal family unit or whatever the case may be. So that was just something else that I wanted to note from what you said. But other than that, I mean, I think you gave some great tips about the keep it sane. I also realized one thing that in so many words, it's important to have a support system, others around you that can help. The only thing was, I hate that there is no fix for those people that may not have a support system. That was kind of one thing I almost kind of wanted to ask him about. But of course, I know that each person, as an individual, you have your own circumstances. But I think that it would be great if there was some type of resources or aid that those people might could have as well. Yeah, but I did enjoy speaking with Jay, of course, though.
We had Nadia on the week before, and we discussed the effects of the quarantine on small businesses, entrepreneurs, and events and different things. You want to start off that one?
Well, for those who aren't familiar with Nadia Francois, who is the director of Sisters of Empowerment social organization, she is their organization created Women's Empowerment Week South Louisiana. So this week was supposed to take place. I think it was supposed to start on like March the 22nd, and it's a series of events all week long for women and girls. Some would take place in Baton Rouge, Lafayette, New Orleans, and also like some other little towns like in between those places. So it is kind of a big deal, and a lot of the events are independently hosted, but they're still listed under the Women's Empowerment Week umbrella. So we've had to, basically she had to cancel the week, and Swagger was the media sponsor for this, for all the events. So it just basically we were just talking about how to adapt, and still kind of indefinite. I think it's about as far as like what events might still be taking place. I'm trying to think. We were just kind of talking about how business owners always, we already kind of be making a way out of no way. So, and then Nadia did get some great advice though that I've been really watching as I'm seeing more about the SBA loans, because she was just, she said that she basically kind of suggested if you're gonna go that route, to make sure that you're definitely reading all the fine print, and that is, really the route that you want to take. And I thought that was a good thing to note, because I've been seeing a lot of people posting those, but I have not just really looked into them. But just kind of heeding that warning already. I'm kind of like, hey, I don't know, if that's just something I really need. I'd much rather wait it out and see. So
I agree. Even with deferred, I've seen that that Candy went online saying that if you can get your stuff deferred, defer it. And I take a totally different approach from that. I feel that if you have it to pay right now, especially if you're working and you have the money, pay your bills.
yeah,
Because you don't know what it's going to be next month. And maybe you're working now and you're not working next month. It's better to be ahead and have to defer than to have it and have to defer.
Right.
One of my colleagues had mentioned, so you can have cash on hand, but she has 2 kids that she helped, it's her, and she has 2 kids. So that's different. It's me and Chloe. Chloe working all the time. I'm working. We're good. I do not want to defer my rent. I'd rather someone who really needs it to. Now, if next month things change, I will take advantage. But I'm not deferring any bill that I have for the simple, just to say I deferred it, because knowing me, I'm gonna find something to spend it on. I'm not gonna just put it, I'm just one of those people that I'm not gonna take advantage of something just to take advantage of it. If I really don't need it right now, it's business as usual. It's the same old same. I don't have anything different going on that says don't do it. If nothing else, I'm getting extra stuff. I'm having extra money into my household. So even with that, what do you think about deferring stuff right now?
I haven't deferred anything. I hadn't just really looked into it, but the fact that I just moved into my place means I'm really not trying to start with any bad habits. Like, that's kind of been my whole thing. I was supposed to be moving, starting over anew, and then all of this just kind of like I had some goals and plans and stuff, but I'm just trying to make certain that I'm disciplined, because the last thing I like to do is lose our new place. So that's the most important thing to me, other than keeping my kids safe and healthy.
Right. And I totally agree. Even, you don't want to start that tone of bad habits, and then it goes all downhill and different things. And I have a very influenced 18-year-old here with me, and I don't want her to feel like, oh, since it's there, I'm gonna just do it. I'm gonna just take it. I'm gonna just do this. Oh, hey, Nadia. Right. Small business relief is only loans. Right. That's only loans. And if you don't have to, don't do it. That's my advice. And that's what Nadia said too. This little piece right here is getting on my nerves. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, a small business is a small business loan. It's not something given, not a stimulus check. It's different. That's given to you. Take advantage of that. Take that. But if I was you, I would not, just get a loan willy-nilly just for the hell of it. Just to say I'm gonna get it. If you don't need it, there's so many people out here, entrepreneurs, that depend strictly on their business, and their businesses are not open, and they're losing money daily.
Yeah.
They have bills to pay. They have employees to pay in some cases, in most cases, or what have you. Also, now you mentioned that that some people who don't have many employees can't get the loans anyway. So just read the fine print. That was a really good conversation with her. Even with the events, you guys, they're having to be postponed. I would not right now. If I have the funds to pay these bills, I will keep paying. Right. That's exactly. That's how I feel. Um, Anybody want to come on live with us? Are y'all scared, or y'all just don't have a desktop? Y'all gonna do it on your phone? I think that might be the issue. I know. I don't know if Sharona said she was. I don't know. She said she tried the link and it wasn't working.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if it looked the same. It looks like the same.
You forgot to put the phone on.
My phones. I have 3 phones. Somebody called me my Kevin Gatehead ass. I don't know. It was about the phones, because I only have one on, and if I need to send somebody with an iPhone a message while I'm doing something, because I have a work phone. Anyway, I just thought it was funny.
She said that ain't working. I don't know what's.
Did you try to email it to her?
That's what I just said I was about to do. I just said to myself, let me email it to her.
And Nadia said she gonna try to flip her stimulus check.
That's what I was thinking, Nadia, to be honest with you. I was like, let me flip this. Let me make this what I need it to be.
Well, also while you're doing it, I guess I could go into the other guest. What was that? Episode 22, 21. We had Glendora Divine. Glendora is a clinical therapist. Is that how you would say it? And we were discussing effective communication in relationships. And she shared how she and her husband got together, which is kind of crazy, but sweet. Just a little question. And basically, we were just talking about like setting, seems like almost like setting boundaries early on so that a person knows not only like how to treat you or how to talk to you, but also what to expect, kind of, like what you expect of them. So, but it was really good though.
I love the fact that she was like, she said she have questions, y'all. She said she had questions written out because she knew what she wasn't going to deal with again. And I feel like it's so important to know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you can't tell someone else who you are, and you can't tell them how to treat you and how to handle you. And I'm big on that. And that's probably why I'm single, because other people haven't done the work, and I've done the work, and I'm just not going to deal with that. There's a lot of things that I'm not going to deal with. And I know who I am. Don't keep calling me sensitive because I tell you not to talk to me like that. That's not me being sensitive. That's me telling you I don't want to be talked to like that. I don't want to deal with those different things. I've been through emotional abuse. I have been the abuser in a physical relationship. So there are certain things I know. I know my triggers. I suffer with anxiety and depression. So therefore, I know what I'm going to want to go through and what I'm not going to want to go through. One thing she said was, be open to listen. Communication. She was talking about that, because so many times in relationships, if a person switch up, people will say, oh, they switching up, but no, they just grew. Mm-hmm. They grew a little. You're supposed to evolve. You should evolve together. And if they grew and then they're saying, like she said, I don't want you to call me baby no more. I want you to call me my name. Sometimes I might just feel like that. Like, look, I don't want to be boo. I'm not boo. I'm not bae. I've worked so hard to be who I am. I need you to just call me Anya. I don't think that ever happened for me, but I think that was just the example that she was giving. In that may just be something that somebody come up with one day. Just say, hey, I don't want to be called that. And it's so important. Yeah, I always say it's okay to have Jesus and a therapist. It's so important to know. Why you popped your head up like that?
No, because look, I need to plug my computer up, and I'm trying to text Dylan to get her to come in, but my bad. Sorry. And and look, it's telling me it's in battery saver mode. So continue on, please.
Oh.
Sorry.
Her biggest thing was communication, knowing who you are. That's a big thing for me. Very, 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 very big. Listen to your partner. If they tell you, hey, I'm not good with this, or I don't like this, or different things, even when you first start a relationship, listen to them. Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Don't try to, oh, no, that's not them. Because sometimes what happens is some people is one person when you first meet them, and then later on they change, and you're still chasing that high. I call it chasing a high. You're chasing that high to get back to who they showed you they were before. But that wasn't who they were. That was a mask. Now they're really showing you who they are. And because they're showing you who they are, believe that. Believe that's who they are. You wanted to say something just now.
Just when you said that, it just made me think about this book I was reading. And that's actually like a form of manipulation, because you're still chasing, kind of like how they say the first time you ever try coke or whatever, people, the reason why they get addicted is because they're constantly trying to go back for that first feeling, that first high, that is such a rush. And that's kind of like how people will do you when they're manipulating you, because they gave you that sense of feeling then, and then you're constantly trying to get them back to that point, and it never occurs. Or when they want something, and then they feed you a little bit, and then it's right back, which of course is still emotional abuse in my opinion. So.
I agree, because it's playing on your emotions. All in all, effective communication. Set boundaries, communicate well, listen to your partner. Don't take it personal. If they say that, I was looking at something the other day, and everybody always, oh, is she wrong or what have you? Excuse me, I'm sorry. But they said that, what she say? They were saying that it was a wife, and it's not working for her. She said she's just gonna listen. It was a wife talking. It was a husband upset. It was a conversation between a husband and wife. How we got the conversation, I don't know. It was on Facebook. It could have been just somebody playing out a scenario. However, the husband said, "Can you start cooking dinner a little bit later so I can have it fresh?" And she was like, "Well, you could just warm it up. I'm in here trying to cook. I'm in here trying to clean." And some people was like, "Well, at least he getting a meal." And others were like, "But why she can't wait until it's closer?" My thought was, is there a reason why? Maybe she wants to be relaxed when he gets there so he can eat. And she didn't cleaned up and everything. In order for her to clean up everything, she has to cook, get it out the way, clean, warm it up, eat, and then kind of relax with him. Everybody was like, "Well, why she can't do this? Why he's ungrateful? He's just," and I just feel like it is a difference. See, I don't have a microwave. I have an oven. And my niece was like, "So we're really not getting a microwave?" And I was like, "No, we're really not." It's just something about, I've heard so many things about the microwave waves and different things. And if I can stop certain things from coming in my body, I try to. I'm not 100% holistic. However, wherever I can change it, I do. But I prefer food coming out the oven anyway. Whenever you warm it up, go to the microwave. So that's just me. And I was like, well, maybe she could put it in the oven. I was like, just different things. But I think that it should have been a conversation, not a text message. It should have been a conversation where them two sat down and he said, "Babe, is there any reason why," maybe asking, "Is there any reason why you cook so early opposed to when it gets close to time that I get off?" She could very well want everything to be cooked by the time he get home and he don't have to wait on nothing. It can be that too. But
yeah, I wanted to share some comments I'm getting from my watch party. So Jimmy said he was writing, so he could not be on the desktop. But he said he thinks we need a male point of view. He needs to be on the chat. We actually had a male point of view last week. Danica, who is my cousin, said, "I agree. Don't wait to pay your bills." And also, Jimmy was saying something about, I guess, like, because we were talking about communication and how to respect the person's space. And Dana was saying it is definitely emotional abuse, narcissistic personality when people do that. So thank you all for tuning in and leaving comments. Also, please share, by the way. But I just wanted to acknowledge you all, and I guess y'all can see Anya waving. So yeah, did you have any comments you wanted to share from your page?
I'm looking now. No, people are just liking it. I don't think I did really I don't think I really did a watch party this week. But I enjoyed this conversation. As always, Theories and Thoughts podcast airs every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Swaghurst Live. It is on replay on YouTube. So follow our YouTube, Swagher Magazine. We have so much stuff out there, y'all. I'm telling y'all, interviews, content. Don't forget, our website is www.swagher.net. Also, this can be listened to on Spotify. So go in and like and subscribe there. Also on YouTube, like and subscribe. If y'all have any topics that y'all want us to talk about, hit me up. Arnya, ARNYA, at swagher.net. Why you smacked your seat? Because you didn't have that in your
Right. I'm like, look, every time we need to do a little checklist or something. Jimmy said, "Thank you." And Dana also said, "That's my man. He wanted me to throw my microwave away. Those pancakes on a stick be hidden when they come out the oven."
They do. Somebody told me the other day they didn't know what I was talking about. Pancake on the stick. I was like, man, a pancake on the stick be life. I had blueberry kind. I had blueberry.
I don't like blueberry stuff. But I'm sorry, what you about to say?
I was about to say, if you would like to also be a guest with a real topic, email me. I'm gonna put it right here in the comments.
Okay, because I was about to type it in, but on the screen we do have our Theories and Thoughts Never Thirsty tumblers. And look, I even learned, y'all, honestly, since I've been drinking out of my tumbler, which I can't see myself, but yeah, I actually drink way more water now. And I really love the fact that I don't have that moisture residue. Like, I'm such a neat freak, so it just kind of really bothers me when you sit a water bottle down. So yeah, so those really do come in handy, and you can shop for yours on our website at swagger.net under our shop tab. And they do also come personalized. So, and I also finally decided to turn my cap around so that you can see the outside, because you always just see my name. Seems like whenever I show mine, Anya's showing y'all hers. So,
Yes. If you're interested in being a writer, brand ambassador, or in our marketing team, hit me up. ARNYA@swagger.net. I put it in the comments just now. I try not to be bootleg, y'all, and be on my phone while we're on the air. So, any final thoughts?
I have one. Actually, this was not an original part of the programming or whatever, but this is something Anya and I have been kind of going back and forth about. I would like for you all to like really let us know. I have an issue with basically running anything Republican news wise. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not gonna push propaganda. Well, that's my goal, to not push propaganda off to you all. Anya says I'm being biased. And I know I am kind of being biased, but it's not even so much the fact of being biased as we know this is BS. I'm not gonna print this.
Well, no, let's talk about what I call bias. Finish and then let's.
No, I was just gonna say. Now the thing though is, when I say BS, now she may not necessarily feel that way about what it is, because if you're looking at the content, it looks like, oh yeah, but to me, I mean, my education is in PR. I see where you're trying to take this angle and run with it, and it's just not always. It's not always legit, you know, but if you're just a person that's just reading a headline, I don't want you to read the headline and then think, oh, this is where my vote needs to go. I really think that's really my concern, you know. But now, Anya.
Okay, so what I called bias was we got information to apply for the Republican National Convention and the Democratic National Convention. I told Fancy I'm going to both. She was like, I'm not going to the Republican, I'm going to the Democrat. And I said, it's important for us to remain unbiased. As to say, we should still report both and let our listeners, our audience decide where they're going to go. Now, I am all for not printing a heading that is not true and that we know for a fact is not true. However, I still feel like there's some things out of the Republican Party that we can push. I don't agree 100% with the Republican Party, and I don't agree 100% with the Democratic Party. I don't agree with our president, point blank, period, in a lot of things. I find that he's just irresponsible. That's the biggest part of it. But he has done some good things. I always say he's kind of like an abusive relationship. I'm going to beat your ass, and then I'm going to tell you I'm sorry and give you things. And then I'm going to beat your ass again. Because his rhetoric and crazy talk is, I feel like, is him beating us up. Like, you don't have nothing else to do, you might as well vote for me. Just different stuff like that. And then he does prison reform and get out some black people. Here, I did something for you. And then he'd say something and do something crazy again.
And look, you just said, here, I did something for you. Oh, thank me, worship me, because I did this for you. No, I don't. No, that does not. If this is the only reason why you did it, of course that person isn't thinking it. But hell, if this is the only reason why you did it, then take them back, And then not to mention, you did this for us, but then look at all his friends that he got out of prison. Look at the fact that the person that was running for that position in Alabama and Roy Moore or whatever that he was really supporting. I mean, he hangs with criminals. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, he hangs with criminals. This is not something that, but I get what you're saying. And actually, though, now that I know that that's what you meant about the bias part, I told you could go to the RNC. I have no issue with it. I do think it would be good for someone to go. I just personally don't think I could stand it. That's just me. I'm not about to sit in here with y'all, and no, that's just not me. So, but I'm a people person. I show my feelings, like, yeah. Let me walk through the door. Like, she looked like she just.
Ma'am, did you want to be here? Because your face is showing.
And I'm gonna go there with my Angela Davis look on. If I was to be going, no, I would not. No. But I applaud you, because I mean, it takes a tolerance. My tolerance level just is not that high, with certain people.
I just feel that it's our responsibility as journalists, and this is just my personal opinion. It's our responsibility as journalists to show both sides. That's how I feel, and I think that it's a larger it's a responsibility. It's our responsibility to show both sides. I don't think that they're going to have either convention now. That's just me. I truly don't believe that they're going to have both.
I've been wondering about that too, but actually, this all kind of the conversation. Well, we've had the conversation, but then we also kind of revisited it because there's a campaign going on right now. Like the Republicans are basically really pushing, trying to target the Black community more. And I was just like, they emailed us, and I didn't really feel like I wanted us to take part in it,
Right.
Yes, 9 out of 10, y'all paid those other people, but then it's like, I don't even want you to offer to pay me because I don't want to possibly be tempted to go down, this rabbit hole with you. I don't feel like it's right. But I do agree with the fact of, sharing information. But there's the thing. See, we don't have enough people to sit and fact check this stuff, or, come back and say, hey, well, and you know what I mean? Like, we don't have enough people to give that other side there, or break down what it is that they're actually saying, because we know their language and terminology is so important. So those are some of the reasons why too. So, yeah.
But that have to be across the board. We have to do that for the Democrats as well.
Yeah, and actually, you don't really see much on the website about Democrats either, but it's the particular fact that they emailed us with this. But yeah, like, there isn't much of either one. I would really like for it to be more, but with anything, I really want it to be informative. If it's not really anything that's really focusing on our community and that's really actually beneficial, like, hey, there is no other agenda here or some hidden agenda, but there's always a hidden agenda. So it really makes the news, it's kind of hard to sort through. But I just wanted, if initially I was thinking, okay, like, are you all missing RNC news or something, but yeah.
I mean, so with that, do y'all want to see campaign stuff on our site? Because it's kind of at a, we don't know, we have the fact check, just different things. And we were looking for a political analyst as well. So if you know any, hit me up. Yeah, I got my email.
Just want to submit too. That would be good.
Yeah.
Because a lot of y'all political analysts or lawyers or whoever the case may be, y'all be on your Facebook and you share these long posts. Why not just, submit it? That would be really good.
I said, we have a platform for you.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I have nothing else. Thank you guys. Sorry you couldn't go live on your cell phones because you wouldn't hear me. And of course I want y'all to hear me. And I think that's why most people didn't join us, because someone actually texted me and I was like, you have to go on your desktop and things like that. So, I wanted to say I had wore this shirt designed to win because of everything that's going on right now. Remember, you're designed to win. Nikki actually made this shirt. So.
Oh, that's cute. Tell Nikki I said hello. I was supposed to be asking about
her surgery. We'll call.
Okay.
I don't know if I told you that.
And it was one last thing. When you said that, dang, I forgot whatever the last thing was I was going to add. I don't know. Okay.
Thank y'all for joining us. Remember, come back next Tuesday.
Bye.